Welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. It's time for Professor Powell. I want to know what his PhD is in. Tyvis, what did you get your degree in? As we talk about Emmanuel McNeil-Warren today with Tyvis, what's your PhD in?
Well, the thing about me, Jason, is I know defenses, but more particularly, I know defensive back play like the back of my hand. So therefore, I got my PhD in defensive backs, actually.
Well, this is a good topic for you. Obviously, the Browns traded up to get Emmanuel McNeil-Warren out of Toledo in the second round. Andrew Berry swore that they were choosing between him and Boston with their first pick of the second round. They couldn't believe EMW was still on the board when they got him. Mm-hmm. What do you see on film? Why do they like him so much, and why do they want to move up to get him?
Well, I see a guy that's a playmaker. I mean, this dude does a really good job of getting the football back. If you watch some of his clips, he understands peanut punching, which is when you punch the ball out. So he's forced a lot of fumbles. He's got interceptions where he's been in the middle of the field from the post. He's done it. He's played half man, got it. He gets the big hits on big plays. I mean, this guy does everything that you want out of the DBs. One of the things that I liked about him the most is he got what they call contact speed. And for people that don't know what contact speed is, that's when you get to it, when you see the ball carrier, right? And you, without a doubt, are going to make contact. You speed up. You get faster. It's boom. It's right now. When you watch his clip, he got contact speed. And I think that is important because it helps you with not missing tackles. You know, so many people get there and they start pattering their feet, and it allows the ball carrier to be able to make moves. When you got that contact speed, when you're trying to run through somebody's legs or their face, they won't have the ability to do that. If they stop their feet, it's going to end up for a bigger hit. So to me, I think he's a total package. I've been going back and forth where I would put him because you got now 3 safeties in that room. And it's funny, ironically enough, he got some of Ronnie Hickman in him, but he also got some Grant Delpit in him. After going back and forth, I think the best place for him is to be closer to the line of scrimmage, to the ball. I will put him in a nickel position, or I will put him in that box safety position. Reason being, rather than the post, is that when he's in the post, he has this thing where he looks back a little bit too early. You know, he reads the quarterback eyes and is a little bit too, and I don't like his 40 time. With it being a 4.52 or 4.53, typically when you're running that one high safety, you want that guy to be low 4.4 or 4.3. So I don't know how confident I am that he can get sideline to sideline. If you look at a lot of his interceptions, he's playing half 2-man or cover 2, and he's making these plays. So I don't know how good he will be from middle of the field to the red line. So I want him more so in the box because, again, he gets the ball out with that peanut punch. He got good contact speed, and he gets interceptions. I think you need to put that guy around the box, especially with his size.
Sorry, Jason.
Go ahead.
How do you think Tyvis he fits in this season? Like, do you see him more as like a nickel guy? Do you think he'll be a starter? I think obviously by next year he's got to be a starter for how you drafted him. You know, top 60 pick, second round.
Yeah, I think that they rotate him in. I think that because you have chemistry with Ronnie Hickman and Grant Delpit, you probably will start off with those two as the starting safeties, but I think you rotate him in. I think he can play both. But if I was them, I would make sure put him towards the line of scrimmage because of his size, because you see the trend in football with Kyle Hamilton and those guys being able to be such good playmakers in the box and getting rid of that extra linebacker. I think he can fit those same skill sets. So I would more so put him more in the box, more so than the post. But I do think we'll see a lot of packages where they run a 3 safety look. I think that they will put him out at the nickel. I trust him a little bit more in coverage than a Grant Delpit. I think Grant Delpit does a really good job with checking tight ends. I would put him more so on at the nickel position. Now, the thing about playing nickel is, even in a man-to-man situation, Dustin, you know this, excuse me. You would understand, right. You would know that there is help everywhere. No matter what coverage you're in, you got help somewhere on the field. So when people hear like man-to-man coverage on a slot wide receiver, okay, when you're playing man, all I'm asking you to do is take away the outside. If he goes inside, you got a whole player there. If he runs a post, you got a post player. I just need you to run him into that guy. But you cannot get beat outside. Vice versa if they're running other coverages as well. If we're in a zone coverage, the speed of the receiver doesn't really matter. I need you to get to your spot and play your landmarks. So I think he would be fine to be able to play in that nickel position. Plus, he's really good at triggering for the run defense. And if we're going back to if Rudy's style is more like Joe Wood's style, then that nickel will be involved in the run coverage a lot. He has a gap. It's usually the B gap or it's the backside A gap if the play is away. So if they're going back to that concept, you need a guy that's a good tackler to be in there. As we know, nickels aren't the best, corners aren't the best. No offense to the corners out there. They're not the best. So you can utilize this guy in the run coverage if you want to still stay nickel and teams want to come out in 11 personnel.
Yo, bro, what up, though? So we talked a lot about this last week, and you was kind of breaking down, the league trending more towards everybody playing with 3 safeties, and these DBs is quote unquote turned into positionless football players. Andrew Berry talked about, they did this a lot with Rodney McLeod. They did it a little bit with Jenkins, and seeing how this is something that they wanted to do, we might as well go ahead and cement this position a little bit more. Talk about, the league trending towards 3 safeties, but then before that, what do you think E-Man's ceiling is as a football player? Like, if you talked about him at his best, who would you compare him to?
At his best, I would say he could be like a Kyle Hamilton for sure, because of the size, because of the ability to play the football, because of the ability to get the ball out. If you're gonna take a linebacker off the field and put another safety in there, the one thing you have to be able to do is make sure you be able to stop the run. That's one. But if you're putting a DB in there and they're running pass and we're running zone, now you got a guy who you're not worried about a hook player not getting to his drop. You're not worried about him getting stopped up in the run or the play action or anything like that. He's able to turn around, get to a spot, and make the throw for the quarterback harder because of his size. He's 6'2". So, that is harder to get the ball over those type of defenders anyways. I think that the reason that they're going back to this position, they're going to this position list, and again, it didn't start with Kyle Hamilton. It actually started with Tyrann Mathieu. He was actually the perfect guy because although he was smaller, you couldn't keep him off the field because he had a knack for getting to the football and finding football and getting takeaways. And again, I always stress this defense has been really good, but the one thing that I want them to improve in is taking the football away. I know that they had like 15 on the season last year, but I want more. Taking away the football is the great equalizer in the game. You can be 14-point dogs, but if you win the takeover battle or the turnover battle, then you usually go on to win those games. And I think that's an area that the Browns needs to get better in. And this guy does that. Just his ability to have a knack for the football is something that you have to keep on the field, and you will figure it out. Now, what makes me comfortable with him when it comes to the run game is that if you got Malik Collins and you got Mason Graham and these guys are as good as they say, you're not necessarily worried about a team running the ball straight down the middle. And that's where you would be worried if you didn't have those defensive tackles, because now you're talking about centers and guards getting up to that next level, getting hands on him, and now allowing him to, make those plays, creating seams. If your defensive tackle play is going to be this good, that means his jersey will be clean. He'll be free flowing. And if you're going to let him free flow and get to the ball, as you see in some of these highlights, he does a great job of getting to the ball carrier and getting them down on the ground. So to me, I would put this guy on the field. You can't keep a playmaker off the field. You just can't.
He was mocked as a late first rounder.
22nd overall prospect.
Yeah. Do you think
rated?
Was it the 40 time, or why do you think he slipped?
I think it was a little bit of the 40 time, and then maybe of it has to do with him playing in the MAC. I know Quinyon Mitchell did a really good job of coming from the MAC and doing really well with the Eagles, but that maybe they looked at that as an outlier because Quinyon Mitchell also ran really well. He had the stats, and he went to Senior Bowl, and they was able to see him against some of the Big Ten and SEC teams. So maybe those type of things played a part into why they were comfortable taking him in the first round. When you go back and you watch the 40 time, and then you look at, all right, against this competition, is it going to translate? And maybe there was a little hesitation there on, is it going to translate? To me, he's got the talent, he's got the skill set. The 40 time doesn't mean anything if you put him in the box. If you put him in the post, that's to me when the 40 time makes a difference, because if you're a one high team, you're asking this guy to get from the middle of the field to the red line, and running a 4.5 I'm not saying it can't be done, not at all. It definitely can be done, but you have to be so smart and be able to anticipate that that's coming, that your room for error is very thin when you're not running a 4.3.
Tyvis, you said something about, coming from the MAC and playing in the NFL. You played with Jimmy Ward, right?
Yes, I did.
From the MAC, first round pick. When he got to the league, did he show any signs of like not being ready for the NFL?
No, actually, Jimmy was very versatile. You know, when I got to San Francisco, Jimmy had played safety, but they were transitioning him to corner. And Jimmy was one of the most athletic guys that I've ever played with. You know, that's a guy that can play every position in the secondary as well, like myself. So to me, Jimmy was really good. But Jimmy also ran a 4.3, I believe. So that might be the determining factor right there.
Yeah.
Y'all got a question for you. Just looking outside of the Browns, we've done a lot of grading the Browns draft on paper and things like that, but you covered the entire NFL draft. What other teams did you look at and said, you know what, they did some damn good work over the weekend?
You know what, I like what Baltimore did, and I like what Cincinnati did. I know, you know, those are two teams that's in our division, but Baltimore going to get Vega, I think that was a really good pick because you're losing your center, and, you know, whoever the new center is going to be is going to need some help. You got to make sure that you're able to protect it, and they want to run the ball. This guy, if you watch Vega's tape, boy, he one of those guys that I know you can't cut block no more, or you can't cut tackle. I would take the 10-yard penalty every time because that dude is a man out there. So I like that pick, and I like the fact that they addressed some of the wide receivers. They went and got two different wide receivers. I like that for them. I think get Lamar some more help over there. So I think outside of him and Derrick Henry running the ball, you got some weapons on the outside. So I like what they did there. And then with Cincinnati, I thought that they needed to address the defense. They got Cassius Howell in the second round, and then they got the corner from Washington Davis. I can't think of his first name, who's actually a 6'3". Yeah, who's actually a 6'3" corner. So I like what they did there on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, you add that with Dexter Lawrence and some other moves. They went and got Jonathan Allen this offseason as well. Cincinnati's going to be a really good team as well.
I want to ask you about the Cavs, but real quick, just Browns draft as a whole. What did you think?
I thought they did a really good job. It was, for the first time in a long time, we didn't scratch our head on none of the picks, none of the early picks. We knew who they were. And I think that, to me, was really good. Like, think about it. Even their second-round picks were guys that were mocked in the first round on a lot of draft boards. So you got first-round picks in the second round. I thought that they really nailed it. I thought they hit some really key positions. The only two flaws that they had in this draft that I wanted them to address is, one, I wanted them to trade up to get McNeel-Warren. I thought that, you know, what Philly gave up, you could have gave up the third round that you got from the Kansas City Chiefs and got McNeel-Warren. If McNeel-Warren was one of the three top tier one receivers in this draft, it was right there for the taking. You should have went and got that one because Pittsburgh definitely was about to take him from you. So I thought that was one mistake that they made. And then the other one was I wanted them to address the nickel position, you know, with an actual corner body, because Miles Harden is going to he's probably a decent player, but obviously if you watched him last year, he had a lot of missed assignments. So I wanted him to go out there and just get competition. I thought that they did a really good job of getting competition around that team. You got center competition, offensive line, wide receiver, all this competition. I wanted it to also go at that nickel position as well, especially when Coach Rudy talks about how important that nickel position is for that defense. I just wanted it to be a more competition there. Now, again, they addressed it with Emmanuel McNeil-Warren as a big nickel, but I wanted another corner in there as well to be in the mix.
Cavs tonight, what'd you think of Game 4, and how do you think this plays out?
First of all, I want to applaud you for giving Donovan crap for getting an 8-second violation, because when Darius did it last year, it was the end of the world. So I smiled to hear you. You know, you're fair. You know, Jason, no matter what people say about you, you cool in my books. You are fair when you give your criticism. I was absolutely disgusted with the Cavs' performance. I mean, they just couldn't buy a bucket at all. The big man just kind of disappeared in that game. You know, you think Evan Mobley and Jared Allen supposed to be key pieces, and they've been doing really well, especially Evan. He's been playing really well in these playoffs, but they kind of no-showed. And then, you know, Donovan going, 6 for 24, I want to say it was, or something like that. Like, that's inexcusable. You know, Donovan it seems like, I don't know if he didn't have the legs or what it was, but his shots was not falling. And when he missed, he missed. Yeah. So I think that they just got to lock in. I don't know if it was fatigue or if it was just being in Toronto. I don't know what it was, but I fully expect these guys to come back, because you can't have a performance like that in Toronto, back-to-back games, and then come back home and not find a way to get a big-time win. So I'm expecting a big performance. Sam Merrill was actually the hero of that game that kept him close. If he didn't have the Kevin Durant moment where he towed the line, we might be singing a different tune, because it seemed like he was the only one that gave a nice little spark in that game.
Real quick.
you're cool with me too, bud. Every time. I miss you. I miss seeing you.
Real quick before you go.
Earl's got one.
That home run total for Stephen Kwan, are you ready to readjust that number yet?
You know what? This is what we call a horizontal tease in this business, because tomorrow when you tune into the UCSS, my hot take that I usually do on Tuesdays is now turning to Thursdays, and it has something to do with Stephen Kwan. You got to tune in tomorrow to see what I'm talking about.
I was going to text you, Ty, and tell you that this has to be the week we unveil this hot take. So I'm glad we're already on the same page.
Look at Ty, the media member.
Yeah, check him out.
Teases.
Welcome to the media.
Isn't it disgusting?
That was a smooth transition too, wasn't it?
I love that you're finally embracing it.
No. I'm about to go walk on 315 traffic right now.
Hey, I'm coming to Columbus again this weekend.
Oh yeah, you going downtown again?
We got another volleyball tournament this weekend. It's a big OVR tournament.
Are you at Olentangy or are you downtown?
Downtown Columbus.
Okay.
At the convention center that you don't know where it is, that takes up most of downtown.
Wait, you don't know where the convention center is?
Listen, Dustin, it's not like I just hang out downtown. I don't hang out downtown. Sorry. And then I got like this 3-on-3 classic tournament at the RPAC basketball tournament. I got to coach this team
He didn't
up,
invite
and
me
then
to
I
play
got
in his team. I was pissed.
well,
I texted him about it yesterday.
McNuggets ain't even gonna be there, so what he's talking about is irrelevant. And then it's my daughter's birthday party on Saturday, so
Oh boy!
Yeah.
All right.
Big weekend.
Man.
Big weekend.
How do you not know where the convention center is? I mean, literally.
What do I look? Do I look like listen, Dustin? I go to
You're
work.
telling me
I go
that
home.
You don't ever
That's
go
it.
to eat downtown? Like, or
I
you're
go
never
to
there?
I go to work. I go work out. I go home. That's it. That's it. I'm not out here like that. No.
He said I ain't in these streets.
Not at all.
No one's
Not at
acting like
all.
you got to be out kicking it to understand where the convention center's at.
That's it. I need to be in whistleblow radius because my wife is, she's about a month out now. Once we get to June 2nd is the due date. So I need to be in whistleblow radius just in case,
You've only been, a player and a, student at Ohio State since like 2012?
That's there. I went to, you know what I did when I was in college? I went to the facilities, I went to class, I went home. That's it. That is it.
Same.
I am a square from Delaware. I stay out of trouble's way. I don't even put myself in a position to even go see stuff because it's irrelevant to me. I'm on a mission.
That's that environment you grew up in, ain't it?
I'm a man on a mission. Listen, you got to
The
stay out of
convention
grown
center
folk
is not
business.
like East 99.
That was a good.
Listen, it's downtown. You get
Dustin
close
said
to
it
them,
ain't
put
like
them
you want to
park.
clear.
Listen,
Not St. Clair.
I'm cool. Listen, I'm not gonna find out because I'm going home.
All right, buddy. We got to go. I appreciate it, man. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.
So I had to go to Columbus for volleyball a few weeks ago, and he said, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I don't even know." And I texted him. I said, "It's at the convention center." He's like, "I don't know where that is."
Wow.
I mean, it does take up like all of downtown.
All of downtown. It's right next to you.
enormous.
I walked in there, and I said the same thing. I got there. I was like, "Oh my god, this thing's enormous. How does Tyvis not know where it is?" It was funny.
I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised by that. It's Tyvis. He is a one of one, man.
We're taking a break.
a one of one.
We come back. Guardians had a game last night that they kind of showed up for. We'll talk about it. We come back with the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.